A Night of Seven Kingdoms is fucking cooking. Second episode, another fucking banger. Um, at
I've
first
been
I was kind
wondering
of
about
sitting
that
with
show.
it. I was kind of wondering. I thought the pacing was a little bit slow. I'm actually really, really enjoying the pacing because they're doing a good job of building up, these two characters, Egg and Duncan, in like a 30 to 45 minute ish time slot. But all the characters that have been introduced so far, my favorite character is I don't know his first name, but he's a Baratheon. I love
Oh,
him.
I know. I know.
He's just here to party. He's here to kick it. You know what I mean? And he's a good dude. He actually is a really good guy. Um, I'm really enjoying it. It's seeming like we're gonna get our first fight scene with Duncan next season. I mean, excuse me, next episode with the tournament starting. So they're really cooking. Very funny, very good characters. Awesome.
So does that mean because this is something I've asked, I think a lot more series should do things like this. Does that mean we're getting the big showdown at the end of the first season? Because I don't want to spoil it for Riddell.
Oh, between him and the Targaryen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna end like that. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure. They,
then
they they tease it at the end of the first episode and showing us it's kind of
mhm.
happening. But yeah, probably at the end. Sauce, to answer
So
your question, it's
yeah,
called the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's about Duncan the Tall.
they mentioned
He
him. They mentioned him in like season 5 or 6. Oh,
they
oh
mentioned him
no,
in
it was
season 4.
Joffrey still alive. So season 4
Yeah.
when he has like 4 pages in the Kingsguard thing. So he's a really cool dude. And when you learn, George, can like just one person in your universe have like he just dies in his bed? Can one person that we like just die in their bed instead of like some
he's a
horrendous shit?
miserable fuck. He's a miserable fuck. I'm sorry. Like I'm sick of George R.R. Martin. I'm so sick of his
Yeah.
ass.
He want to crash on him?
So fuck him and everything he represents. He's just a bitter ass old fuck. I'm sorry. He is. And if we check his hard drive, it's gonna be the same shit that we find in Mashoko Tensei's author's hard drive. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right.
Yo, that's crazy.
He's bitter.
Putting that on him is
about
insane.
every little thing.
That's crazy.
Now, did he have things to complain about season 2? Yes, but did he also have to go over the top, like flip a imaginable table, write a whole blog about it, and then be like, "Oh my god, people didn't like that I wrote a blog about it," because we're still waiting you to finish the win to winner. You have time to write a whole fucking essay about how you don't like season 2, but you can't write more than a few pages in a day, or then you get upset, you hate it.
It ain't coming,
Like
bro.
I'm so sick of him. Like every little positive thing about Game of Thrones that's not him, he feels the need to complain about or say something negative about. He's just a negative.
Is that not fair? But Lonnie, is that not fair if this is your intellectual property that you made from the ground
Then
up? You don't
sell
think
the
that's
rights,
fair?
bro. Then don't sell the rights.
It's fair to a degree, but it's like, for instance, for the first episode of the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, where Duncan shits, he complained about that.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like it's a funny moment. People enjoyed it. It's like it was different. It was just like he's like, I don't know why to be in there. Why did they put
Lonnie,
that in there?
Hey, Lonnie, and I gotta preface it with pause at the beginning. I wonder how he's gonna feel watching this episode that just passed. Who his buddy's slanging.
I was like, yo, because when the episode started, I saw him. I was like,
random. So I'm watching it with my homies. Random. I'm watching it with my homies, and I'm like, so fellas. I was like, first I gotta say no homo. Fellas. I'm like, so y'all think they just brought niggas into the studio and we're like, yeah, your shit too small.
We're gonna right quick. $5 super chat by Angie. Riddell would watch Fate Mighty Morphin Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, but a top tier racing anime with beautiful animation is a no go. Laugh.
What? Riddell. I love my PR team because I'm in the same page as you. I don't get none of this negative press.
Zero.
I'm just happy to be here, y'all.
No, Miles. I think the thing is you're a little bit more. Maybe this is the line that you draw, but you're willing to watch more stuff than Riddell is. Riddell feels like he's very saying the things that you like.
The fuck you talking about, Randall?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
The people are saying that.
I watch so much anime. What are you talking about?
Why did Angie make that super chat about you then?
Hey, there are things.
Miles literally said he doesn't want to watch Free Run Season 2. I'm fine with him not watching it, but just because we have preferences doesn't mean I don't watch anime.
It's not about preferences.
You don't watch anime.
that you're not privy to watching, and we understand that. We understand your
understand that.
boundaries,
It's
Riddell, and we
okay.
respect
Am I
them. We
Josh
respect
Allen?
your boundaries.
What are we doing,
I would say
bro?
Riddell,
I don't know what we're
Riddell,
doing.
Riddell,
I watch so much anime. I don't know what you
Am
guys are
I
talking
Josh
about.
Allen is
Riddell,
crazy.
Riddell, you
I
have to
don't know
understand,
what
Riddell,
you guys are
and
yapping about.
who you are and your boundaries, and you're entitled
right?
to
I like Riddell. We respect your
Space
boundaries.
This
and
rage baiting is
Respect
so
your
is so
boundaries,
is
friend.
so
Rage
annoying.
baiting,
Oh my god.
Hold
This
on,
rage
real
baiting
quick
is so disgusting.
to finish off the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms talk. More series should make shows like this.
I'm
You
glad
can have
you said that, Brandon.
Yeah, you can have, because remember, I talked about this with My Hero, or even let's use Naruto. The fact that I'm very interested in the political system that Naruto works, like the daimyo, the fact that they're technically the heads and the villagers doing their own thing, and we just never really get into that. I think more shows should do things like this. Give us a story in that world, and you can make it work. And Knights of Seven Kingdoms, it's such a fun show compared to how dreary the Game of Thrones universe is regularly. Sure, there's still bad stuff happening, but Miles, you're just having more fun watching this show than you watch, like more fun, so to speak, watching Dunk and Egg hang out than the other thing. I think just the way it's presented, if that makes
To
any sense.
me, and it's not 1-to-1. This is like the Fate Strange Fake of Game of Thrones. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Like, just the tone is just way different, but it's
Yeah,
still the same thing.
And you can, and I think a lot of people just kind of, well, yeah, I'm done with the property now, and I'm leaving it. And I'm like, man, imagine telling a different kind of story in the world, like in that world, and making it work. Because I think there's a lot of like My Hero has so much potential that's just kind of left on the wayside, in my opinion. Of
I mean, they
different.
got vigilantes. Like, what I'm saying is, would you want them to like follow other heroes? Is what you're saying, or like
You follow other heroes or something. Maybe take a look back in time. Maybe like I said, take a look back in time. Follow one of the freaking users of One for All. Like there's just so much potential in that word. I think they're just kind of leaving to the side, and that's just like you could spend some time in here. But look, yeah, obviously, if that's what horticulture, whoever's making the show wants to do, you can do that. But I'm like, let somebody else have a turn with that, and somebody that you trust who will respect your property. But imagine them trying to tell a story. Like imagine following like a villain trying to do a heist movie in My Hero Academia, and you have to like run away from All Might or something. I don't fucking know, but imagine something like that. We could have some fun.
The only pushback I would say to that is that people, especially anime fans, a lot of, let's say, the casual audience, in my opinion, gravitate towards the characters more than the world. So it's not a big enough selling point, in my opinion. So they to continue following another story. If like Deco's story is done, so it's like, okay, I'm good on My Hero and the My Hero universe. That's a lot of people really from My Hero aren't really watching vigilantes like that because of the characters they followed are kind of like done. Their stories is done. It's still part of the universe, and I mean Vigilantes is great, but it just doesn't have that emotional connection to the characters.
I'm not saying you follow the tail guy.
Some people characters definitely matter way more.
Ty, I'm not saying you follow the tail guy. There's obviously like a limit. You're not going to follow.
Why get you straight?
No. I'm just saying you're not following the tail guy. But if you're telling me if you're telling me that if Horikoji said, "Hey, I'm going to make a little side story following Todoroki," you tell me you wouldn't watch that if Todoroki has to solve some kind of case or deal with some kind of problem. You tell me you wouldn't watch that?
Yeah, but that's Todoroki. Like it's still part of the characters that we followed throughout the My Hero story. You're completely like Vigilantes. They're completely following a whole new cast.
So random. If they made like an episodic 10-episode thing where they cover, obviously 10 doesn't encompass all of Class 1A, but if they made something episodic where each episode covered a different hero from our main cast or our main-ish cast, that's something that you're kind of looking for?
Yeah. And to give you an example, Frieren does this. Like in the light novel prequels that they do, they take it's a short, it's like anthology series where you follow different characters for a few chapters as they do something. And you get to learn a little bit more about Stark or Fern when she was adopted by Hyder, or Frieren in one of her many adventures with Himmel and the gang. Like you get to see that, you get to learn more about it, you get to learn more about the world, but and you're like, oh, you get why Frieren is the way she is. Like, and they actually showed that, like the one from Frieren where the demon gets the demon that kills the child in one of the flashbacks. and then the village chief decides to adopt the demon because the demon's literally preying on the human's compassion. Like that's one of the side stories. And then they adapted that into the thing. It was really quick, but then you could do something like that, and then obviously if you go back and read the prequel light novel, you learn more about that situation, and that was actually a pretty good story where Himmel's naivety as the hero gets literally knocked down. Like Frieren hates demons, and she's right because they prey on humans and their emotions and how they do. Even the way they die, they try to mimic humans so that they can use that way to survive. And Frieren was right. This is one of the few times where where you have to, for lack of better terms, kill the demon child because it's never going to get better. And Himmel had to learn that the hard way by him trying to say, you know what, it's a child, we're going to take care of it, which is a natural inclination that humans do. You're never really going to kill a child, right? And then his naivety paid for it because Frieren from jump was like, we got to take the child out. We got to kill it. And Himmel was like, no. And then Frieren was like, okay, bet, but you're gonna learn from this. And I think you could tell obviously not that exact same story because that's obviously, but you could tell stories in these different worlds and you can have fun with them. And you can still use people of the main cast. You tell me if a Bakugo story wouldn't go freaking insane with how much people love Bakugo. A Bakugo story go insane, to a Todoroki story would go insane. I think even an Uraraka story would go insane. You tell me even a Dobby story with how much we've seen them hang out. You tell me that story wouldn't go insane. I'm not saying use a completely new cast, but using a character to lure people in.
I'm gonna have to